Morning, church. Let me introduce myself to you. My name is Annie Paul, and I work for a hotel and near ADAG Center. So let me start with my story, what the Lord has done for me. I hope all of you know what is Matthew chapter 7, verse 7. Ask and it shall be given unto you. Well, my testimony is about this promise of God, and this was October last year, 2017, while I was working in a hotel again in Doha, Qatar. So I was working as a cluster training manager, handling 3 hotels in Doha. And in October, I completed almost 1 year, and I desired to become a cluster director of training. So because with my experience and my good feedback from my hotel, I wanted to become a cluster director of training. So director is obviously a higher position than manager. So I asked God, and I said, I claim that promise that ask and it shall be given unto you. And I put this promise into action. So what I did is I wrote an email to my manager, to the HR and my general manager, and I said, I request for this position, and because I've completed 1 year, and I also expect an increment. Well, there was no response from them because they all said that you just completed 1 year, and it's 1 year in GCC and 1 year in a hotel. It's too early to expect such a big position and an increment. And in fact, they did not respond to me for almost 3 weeks. And the people around me also made fun of me, and they said, come on, nobody asked such a request, you know. I said, no, I want it. I think I'm not like you. I want it, and I prayed, and let's see what happens. Well, it was almost 1 month, and I said, okay, fine, maybe this is not the place for me, and I put down my papers. So when I put down my paper, my general manager, he said, why are you doing this? You're being very unrealistic. I said, I asked for this, and nothing happened. Anyway, it's okay. I put down my paper. I'll find somewhere else. So I did not take back my paper. And before I was coming to India, just 6 days before I was coming back to India, I saw an advertisement, an announcement for director of training. And the moment I saw it, I said, wow, this is, this is what I wanted. But I asked for cluster director. I did not ask only for director. So I said, wow, let me apply. It was 9 in the morning. I applied, and by 12 o'clock, the position was closed. And I was like, okay, let's see. Maybe somebody else has been selected. But I got an email, and I was interviewed. And eventually, before I came to India, I got that position of a director of My testimony doesn't get over there. I joined that position this January, 22nd of this January. And as a director of training, so when you said only director of training, you handle only 1 hotel. Cluster means you are handling more hotels. So I still desired to be a cluster director, and I said somewhere, maybe 1 year, 2 years, maybe I'll become. And then 22nd of January, I joined, and 22nd of April, I completed my probation, which is 3 months. And I was told by my manager, my general manager, that you are promoted as a cluster director of training. So this Sunday onwards, I will be holding that position, and this is the Lord's doing, and He kept the promise word by word.